Well, that's from July 5th, 1937, when the Cubs swept St. Louis. 79 years later. Looks pretty similar, doesn't it? ABC 7's coverage of Cubs baseball. It is Game 2. The Cardinals and the Cubs. St. Louis winning the opener 3-2 last night. Gorgeous night for baseball. Jim DeShays and Len Casper with you. We're going to get right into the Honda starting pitching matchup, and it is a good one tonight.
Indeed it is. Jason Hamill for the Cubs. Big Adam Wainwright will go for the Cardinals. Wainwright has made Wrigley Field his personal playground. 9-1 here with a 3.33 ERA. He has pitched scoreless baseball in his last 3 starts here at Wrigley. Jason Hamill already 2-0 against the Cardinals this year. He's been really good here in his home ballpark. 3-0 with a 2.03.
In spite of the loss last night, the Cubs still have an 11.5 game lead over the Cardinals. Wainwright off to a very good start in June. Hamill in the top 10 in ERA in the majors. Cubs baseball next. Is being brought to you by Mercedes-Benz, the best or nothing. By Keller Graduate School of Management, learn loud. By State Farm, talk to an agent today at 800 State Farm. By Honda, start something special with a great deal on a Honda, now at your Honda dealer. And by Southwest, transparency, low fares, nothing to hide. Tonight's HD broadcast is brought to you by Xfinity. Xfinity X1 will change the way you experience TV. Gorgeous night here at the ballpark, and let's get our Keller Graduate School of Management leaders of the game. We'll hear from last night's starter, John Lackey, on the compete level of these young Chicago Cubs.
I think we're a little better and competitive. We got a good team, man. We got a chance to win every time we go out there, and we expect to win when we go out there. And yeah, I guess no, I'm not that surprised.
Well, the Cubs lost yesterday 3-2, but they had their chances late. And as we look ahead to tonight, JD, your Mercedes-Benz keys.
Yeah, early pressure. Try to get to a Wainwright early on before he gets comfortable. He's been very good in this ballpark. He's pitched scoreless baseball his last 3 times here. He's been on a nice roll of late. So get to him early. Keep the ball on the ground. Don't let it blow out. And no streaking. The Cubs have only lost back-to-back games 3 occasions this year. They are 16-4 after a loss. Jason Hamill is 4-0 when making a start after a loss.
This is a Keller Graduate School of Management statistic. The Cubs have the best road record in baseball. The Cardinals have had a weird stretch here. They have won 6 in a row on the road, and just coming off a 5-game homestand in which they lost all 5 games. So let's look in now on the ESPN 1000 Cardinals starting lineup, and it looks pretty similar to the one we saw last night. Carpenter, Diaz, Holiday at the top. Piscotty, Peralta, who homered last night. Molina in the middle. Brandon Moss hit the go-ahead blast early. Colton Wong playing center field once again, and Adam Wainwright can swing the bat. .240 with a home run this year.
Cubs defensively, it's brought to you by Chevrolet. Joe Madden shuffling the deck a little bit. He's got Chris Coughlin in left. Albert Almora Jr. patrols center field. Jason Hayward's in right. Bryant back in the infield. He's joined by Russell, Zobrist, and Rizzo. Wilson Contreras making the start for the 2nd consecutive night. And out there on the mound is the big right-hander Jason Hamill. 7-2 with a 2.26 earned run average, making start number 14. 2-0 against St. Louis this year. We're going to see a lot of slide balls from Hamill. We'll see a fastball that'll go from roughly 90 to 94. Swing and miss slider, curveball, and occasionally a changeup.
Mark Carlson says play ball, and a strike called on a fastball to get us started.
It's kind of a freebie because Carpenter pretty much never swings at that first pitch.
Ground ball knocked down by Hamill. Plenty of time to recover. 2 pitches in, 1 out. Weather at the first pitch is brought to you by 4 Seasons Heating, Air Conditioning, and Plumbing. For all the right reasons, call 866 4 Seasons. Absolutely ideal baseball weather. Might get some rain tomorrow, but we'll deal with that when it happens, or if it happens. Letney's Diaz looks at a strike on the outside corner. His average back up into the 300s with a 2-for-4 night last night. Added a walk, knocked in a run. Chopped to third, foul. Good ball game last night. Cubs had their chances late in the 9th inning against Trevor Rosenthal, but they found a way to save the game. John Lackey battled hard to keep his team in the game.
Now, there were no runs scored after the 3rd inning. Cubs had a great chance in the 9th. Albert Almora thrown out of third base on a ball in the dirt. A very close play. Heck of a play by Molina. He kind of wore it after the game. He said it felt like he cost the team the game.
Good curveball from Hamill for a called strike 3.
In his first start against the Cardinals, Hamill threw his curveball a fair bit. Usually more reliant on the slider, but in that one particular start against St. Louis, he leaned a little more heavily on the curveball than he normally does. So he's got options. He's got a plan B, and these Cardinal hitters getting their 3rd look at him already this year.
10th career start versus St. Louis. And you mentioned it. Cubs don't lose back-to-back games very often. They have not lost on consecutive days at home this year, although they did get swept in a doubleheader. So that was 2 losses on one day against San Diego. Hamill will flip to Rizzo, and a quick 1-2-3. Cubs coming up when we return. starting lineup. Chris Coghlan in the leadoff spot. Dexter Fowler went to the DL yesterday. The former Cardinal Jason Hayward batting second as per usual. Bryant, Rizzo, Zobrist, as we normally see in those spots. Contreras, Russell, Almora Jr., and the pitcher Jason Hamill against Adam Wainwright. And first pitch swinging. Coghlan deposits that one into left center. A leadoff single. Good start.
Checking with the Cardinals defensively. It's brought to you by Comcast Business. Matt Holliday, he came out for defense late in the game last night. Wong's in center. He's kind of a newbie out there. Piscotty very good in right. Peralta, Diaz, Carpenter, Moss on the infield. Molina, multiple Platinum Award winner behind the plate. Adam Wainwright, also a Gold Glover. Big guy, fields his position well, and after a rough start, he's really turned things around. 5-4 with a 4.78 ERA for Wainwright. In the last handful of starts, much better. This is the 199th time that Wainwright has started, and Molina's been the catcher. That's the most in Cardinal history, surpassing Bob Gibson and Tim McCarver by 2.
Hayward swings and misses. Jason 1 out of 5 in the opener last night.
Last 3 starts here. Nothing but bagels for Wainwright in the earned run column.
Month-to-month ERA to start this season, 7.16, 4.62, 180. So he's not only gotten better, but appreciably better each month.
A curveball, a big pitch for him, and that's gotten better and better. He found a little issue with his arm slot. He thought was creating some problems. He thought he was getting a little too high with his delivery, so he dropped his arm down a little bit. Getting better action on the sinker and better leverage with that curveball.
Wainwright missed much of last season with a torn left Achilles. He came back and pitched in relief late in the regular season and in the division series against the Cubs. 2-1 on Hayward. Just getting started. Hamill made quick work of the Cardinals in the top of the first on just 8 pitches. You see the improvement for Wainwright. Curve misses outside. It's 3-1.
Might be a go situation here for Coghlan. Wainwright throughout his career has been a pretty good ground ball pitcher. Hayward hits it on the ground a lot. Count on ball 4 or contact on this 3-1 offering.
Coghlan was not on the move. 3-2. Cardinals and Pirates both winning last night. Cardinals are 11.5 out. Pirates 14 back. How about Jeff Locke over Madison Bumgarner in Pittsburgh? 1-0 last night.
Yeah, Locke really stepped up big for the Pirates. They needed a win. Bumgarner continues to pitch great baseball.
Well, let's check out the updated NL Central standings, brought to you by the Bob LaCourcio Auto Group. We will see the Reds on this upcoming road trip.
Tremendous separation on June 21st. Everybody knew the Cubs were going to be good, but I don't think anybody expected them to have this kind of a lead at this point in the season.
He walked him. 2 on, nobody out for Chris Bryant.
Well, Cubs with that chance for a little early pressure here on Wainwright. And you know what they say, pressure busts the pipe.
reference Wainwright's curveball. His Twitter handle is @UncleCharlie50. So he likes his curveball too.
Yeah. Curveballs help make him a very rich man. Had a heck of a career.
He's got a good uncle. Who was Uncle Charlie, by the way?
Uncle Charlie, aside from the My Three Sons, Uncle Charlie?
Did he have a good curveball?
You know, Steve.
See, these are questions you should have the answers
Uncle
to.
Charlie. Well, I'm guessing Uncle Charlie. C for curveball, Charlie. So somebody somewhere along the way. Maybe Candy Cummings, who way back in the day is credited by some as throwing the first curveball.
Bryant out into right center, not very deep. It'll be caught by Colton Wong. Tagging and heading to third is Coughlin, so they're at the corners with one out.
Wong and Piscotty having a conversation now. Wong traveled a long way, and as I mentioned when we set the defense, Wong, an infielder, went down to AAA and played just a handful of games in center field. He had played the position in college, but not a lot of experience out there. Certainly very little at the big league level. He had a little bit of a misread on a ball last night, and I would imagine his mindset is, I'm just going to go get everything. I don't want to be caught coming up short, so I'm going to go get everything I can get until I feel a little more comfortable out here.
Nice hand for Anthony Rizzo. Cardinals will play for a shot at a double play on their infield. Moss holds on Hayward. Coughlin gets his lead at third, and the pitch is inside on a fastball.
Anthony has good numbers against Wainwright. 10 out of 33. It's a .303 batting average. 1 home run.
Putting together a terrific month of June.
No June swoon for Rizzo, more of a June boom. Looked last night, his OPS was second best in the National League for the month of June, behind Will Myers, who's really got things going with the Padres.
Wainwright 6'7", 235. Good athlete. Can hit, fields his position well. Rizzo in the air to center, not very deep. Wong charging in. Coughlin tags. Here comes the throw to the plate. Safe. It's a sacrifice fly, and the Cubs grab the early lead. RBI number 54 for Anthony Rizzo. Pretty good effort by Wong.
Yeah, he's got a pretty strong arm. And with that first run for the Cubs, Chicagoland's own E-Click Lending will donate $100 to the Pat Tillman Foundation, supporting military veterans and their families.
So the Cubs strike first. Here's Ben Zobrist, who grew up rooting for the Cardinals in Eureka, Illinois. 3 hits in the opener. Curve strike. Cubs made a bunch of pitching roster moves before the ball game. We'll tell you about those here in the next half inning.
No, they didn't trade for Aroldis Chapman.
Molina looks into his dugout. Gives Wainwright the sign. Looks like a fastball toward the outside. He hit the target, did not get the call. 2-1. 2-1 pitch is a curve for a strike.
Wainwright also likes to cut his fastball. He doesn't really throw a changeup. I mean, he's got one, but rarely uses it. Sinkers, cutters, and curveballs for the most part.
Top to short, not hit very hard. Diaz gets rid of it quickly, and that ends the inning. Sac fly by Rizzo gives the Cubs the early 1-0 advantage. Cheese. Brought to you by Blue Moon, artfully brewed with Valencia orange peel and a touch of coriander. Something's brewing. Jason Hamill against the Cardinals in St. Louis earlier this season, helping his own cause with the bat as well.
It was a 2-1 win, and he drove in both runs. With 6 innings of 5-hit 1-run baseball.
Stephen Piscotty leading off the Cardinals' second, ball 1. And he lines one out toward right center. Hayward cannot cut it off, and Piscotty to second with a double. That is his 18th two-bagger. The Cardinals' first hit.
Good bit of hitting here. Two-seam fastball. Outside edge, perhaps even off that outside corner a little bit. Hayward gloves it with his arm. He's got a chance to make a play on Piscotty at second base. Ifs and buts, candies and nuts, and all that good stuff.
Well, I haven't broken down the all-star candidates in the outfield in terms of player balloting and the like. But Stephen Piscotty has had an all-star caliber first half, hitting over 300. He's gotten his career off to a very good start. Foul strike on Peralta, who homered in the opener and has good numbers against Jason Hamill. Swing and a miss on a slider.
High fly ball that floated into the bleachers for a home run off Big John Lackey last night.
Peralta 9 for 23 with 2 career homers versus Hamill. 0-2 taken upstairs.
Stephen Piscotty has an OPS of 861, good for 12th best among National League outfielders. For the sabermetrically inclined, 2.5 wins above replacement, third best in the National League behind Starling Marte and Christian Yelich, who we'll get our first look at on this upcoming road trip. Well, first look this year.
2 balls, 2 strikes. And an emergency swing there on a slider to hold the count.
Yeah, that's a backup slider you don't throw intentionally. And a lot of times the hitter will jam himself or even swing through it sometimes because they see slider spin and they're thinking they got to go out and get that pitch, and the ball stays and it's in that lane and ends up in on the hands a little bit of a right-handed hitter.
Hamill long and lean, 6'6", 225. And his 3-2 to Peralta's popped up. Rizzo over near the tarp makes the catch. Piscotty will hold. So here are the roster moves the Cubs made on a very busy day today. Clayton Richards got a finger blister. He goes to the DL. Adam Warren optioned to AAA Iowa. The goal is for him to go down, make a couple of starts, come back and make a spot start before the break, possibly one after the break. Cubs have 24 in a row without an off day going into the All-Star break. Spencer Patton is back. We saw him briefly earlier. And an intriguing left-hander, Gerardo Concepcion, 24 years old. He's been in the system a while. And here over the last year has really put it together and has been particularly good in the minors this year against left-handed batters. He has a good curveball. His command has improved, and he is in the Cubs bullpen. Carl Edwards Jr. joined the bullpen last night, so a lot of movement on the roster.
Yeah, the most interesting piece there, Adam Warren.
Ball to Rizzo. He thought about third, but now with 2 outs, take the sure play. Piscotty at third.
Yeah, with a slower guy running, perhaps you take a shot there, but already 1 out in the inning. Just make sure you get that sure out. Significant loss with that extra 90 feet gained by Piscotty. There's Patton, but the Warren play is interesting. 24 games in 24 days. The starters have been very dependable. Nobody's missed any time. I think it's a function of the big lead that the Cubs have too. Let's go ahead and make sure we save some bullets.
I think the other part of it is Warren had been struggling, and this gives him a chance now, stretching out to work on a few things. Brandon Moss has tied the game on an RBI single with 2 outs. Time for the Keller Graduate School of Management league leaders. Brandon Moss putting together an excellent month along with the aforementioned Myers and Rizzo.
He must have leapfrogged those guys with his home run last night.
Now the 8-hitter Colton Wong, 2 for 4 last night, and the 2 outs he made were lineouts. Had been their second baseman, went to the minors, came back and is now playing center field. Peralta came off the DL. He went to third. Carpenter went to second. Randall Grichuk, Jeremy Hazelbaker to the minors. So the Cardinals have put together some different puzzle pieces here lately.
Actually, around Memorial Day, teams will start to tweak. They want to take a long look at guys, see how it plays.
Three and 0 with the pitcher Wainwright on deck.
And of course, for teams like the Cardinals and the Pirates, with the Cubs getting out to this big lead, that creates a sense of urgency. And not so much that that they have a great chance of running down the Cubs, but now you're fighting for a wild card spot in all likelihood. So that would be the thing to look up. And we could do it, but I'm too lazy. So I'll just throw it out there and somebody else can look it up.
Okay.
But year by year, second wild card team claims that spot by how many games they won, right? Most of it probably a game or two in the standings, right?
The Cubs last year by 13.
Yeah.
Over the Giants, which
gets your attention.
Yes. Ball 4.
That's pretty rare.
Well, the Cubs clinched fairly early, and I remember we might have already been in the division series. I look back and 13 games. Yeah, they won 84. The Cubs won 97.
Wainwright leads all pitchers with 10 RBI this year.
Wainwright has 7 career home runs. There are 3 active players who are pitchers who have more. Can you name any of the 3?
Madison Bumgarner.
Yes, he has 13.
The number is what, 7?
The number is 7.
Babe Ruth.
Active.
Bob Sacamano. How many does Travis Wood have?
He has 9.
9. I'll go with Travis Wood then.
One other guy is not currently in the National League. But was for a while.
Sabathia wasn't in this league long enough, did he?
No, he was not.
But I think he could swing it a little bit, though, if I recall.
This guy just came off the disabled list for his American League team.
It's 2 down. Let's go to Orson Bean.
He has 12 career home runs.
12 career home runs.
The Cubs used to see him a lot.
He's a National League Central fellow.
Wainwright lines to Addison Russell.
Man.
If you said Giovanni Gallardo at
Of
home,
course.
you win the prize.
That's going to be my next guess.
1-1. His new comedy hit, Uncle Buck, at a special time tonight at 1:05 a.m. and every Tuesday at 8 on ABC 7. That is right in your wheelhouse. 1:05.
Probably stay up late to watch Uncle Buck tonight.
Yeah. Wilson Contreras making his second consecutive start back of the plate.
Wasn't John Candy the original Uncle Buck?
He was. Yeah. Contreras last night 1 for 4 with an RBI. Showed off his arm, nailing a base stealer. Big home plate tag to keep the game within a run late. Raw, energetic, some things to work on, but there's time, and he's got a ton of support around him.
Well, he's got veteran pitchers who will help lead the way. He's got smart pitchers.
Well, he's been a Cub longer than anybody in this clubhouse. He's been in the organization since 2009.
Wainwright, a pitch maker, and just dotted the outside corner at the bottom of the knees.
2-2. Sure, it's very special for Contreras to wear this big league Cubs uniform. We saw a lot of them in spring training, and he was impressive. 3-2.
Well, you look at his year-by-year numbers as coming up through the minor leagues, and you see the strikeout rate going down, the walk rate going up. So you can kind of see it coming a little bit. The discipline, better feel for how to organize an at-bat, but just blew up last year. Huge numbers, continued on with that this year at AAA.
He draws the walk. I like his body language in the batter's box too. There is a confidence that he exudes. This is the throw. Wow. Unbelievable.
That was a Dan. He's a young, very athletic. That motor runs awfully fast right now. He's high energy. An RBI base hit to go along with that good defensive work.
So the leadoff walk to Contreras. Now Addison Russell in a 1-1 game here in the second. Let's take a look at our Comcast Business of Baseball. Contreras from Puerto Cabello in Venezuela. That is Carlos Zambrano's hometown. And again, he wasn't really on the radar prior to last year. And then was a Cubs minor league player of the year, won the batting title, the AA level in the Southern League. He was converted in the fall of 2011.
Cub fans, check out the Cubs blog on abc7.com, brought to you by Jeff Vukovich, your local nationwide agent, serving the area for 38 years. To join the nation, contact Jeff at jeffvuk.com. Nationwide is on your side.
Here's the pitch. It's a strike. It's 2-2. Wainwright is from Brunswick, Georgia. About an hour north of Jacksonville on the Atlantic coast. Taken by the Braves, 29th overall pick in 2000. Traded to the Cardinals prior to 2004. And he was a closer early, 2006, late in that season and into the playoffs as the Cardinals won the World Series. struck him out looking for his first strikeout tonight.
Look at the Xfinity pitch tracks. Addison Russell maybe thinking curveball or looking away, frozen by the inside fastball.
Now Albert Almora Jr. batting 8th, starting in center. He went 1 for 5 with a double. A double happened in the 9th inning off Trevor Rosenthal. And then he was thrown out at third trying to advance on a pitch that briefly got away from Yadier Molina. Holiday in makes the belt high catch.
You just said Holiday in.
I didn't even realize it.
It's the official hotel of left field, the Holiday Inn. Yeah, and you know Almora thrown out at third base by Molina, and I've seen that the play was characterized as a base running gap. I don't think it was a base running gap. I think it was a defensible play. There's one out in the inning. He sees the ball in the dirt. He's trying to get to third base. Ball hits the umpire's foot.
Yep, that was the key, I think. Yeah, if it's the first or the third out, that is a bad play.
Yeah. It's just bad luck because the ball pops off the umpire's leg and settles right there at the feet of Molina. Snaps off a good, quick, accurate throw.
Right, and that's the other part of it, JD. If the throw is off just a little bit, it wasn't like he was out by 10 feet. Is foul as Hamill cracked his bat.
That was not. It was not a toot bland.
Right.
Seen toot bland out there in the blogosphere. Somebody's got a stat. It's
that's the bad base running.
Thrown out on the bases like a nincompoop, I believe, is what toot bland stands
Whether we
for.
can say that on the air or not, I don't know, but you just did, so it works. But yes, that is the term. I'm guessing they probably would say that would be that, even though we might argue with it.
Yeah, that may go down as a toot bland, but for me, it's not.
Swing and a miss, and the inning is over. Leadoff walk, but no runs. 1-1 from beautiful Wrigley Field.
ABC7 Eyewitness News weeknights at 10 with Kathy Brock, Alan Krzyzewski, Cheryl Burton, Jerry Taft, and Mark Giangreco. It's a handsome group. They clean up real nice.
Rob Elgis is with us, upstaging us with the tie. Although you're working tonight,
I'm
I
working.
guess we are too.
I'm working.
Welcome.
Thank
Beautiful
you.
night here at Wrigley Field. And you got to cover opening day.
That's the last time I saw the two of you.
Yes.
Ran into both of you out at Anaheim. The game was on ABC7, so naturally I pitched it to my news director and said, we need to do a news story.
Somebody needs to be there, yeah.
So out there, and the Cubs fans obviously travel well. That was a great way to start this season.
Cubs swept that 2-game set. 1 ball, no strikes on Matt Carpenter. 1-1 tie here in the 3rd inning.
Never surprised at the fans that show up on those road games. You know that well. I mean, there's always.
It has increased, I think, this year. We were in Atlanta. I think it was the Saturday game, JD, right? Over 40,000. We were estimating maybe 15, 18,000 were Cub fans.
Yeah, there's been a number of games this year where certainly by the end of the game, you feel like the majority are Cub fans.
But out in Anaheim, a lot of Cubs fans live in LA or the
Yes.
area. I mean, I talked to a lot of those fans. I said, are you from Chicago? They said, no, we just grew up watching the Cubs.
That is low. 2 balls and a strike on Carpenter. So Crystal Lake, grew up in Crystal Lake as a Cub fan, yeah?
Yeah, oh, we would come to these games in the early 80s. So this is before that run of good teams and sit in the top row of the nosebleeds with my back against the chain link fence. My dad would spend about $8 for the tickets, and it was a great experience.
Who was your guy?
Well, it was when Harry and Steve were sitting here doing the game, so we would watch in the summer out there. That's how we would watch Days of Our Lives, and then we watch baseball. That's what was on at the time. So my brother and I, growing up as young kids, I could tell you all about Days of Our Lives. But back then, I just Joey Davis and Ron Say and Rhino and the list just went on and on. The greats, and it was just such a great experience to come here. We go to Comiskey too and catch the White Sox.
Yeah, I think different generations. You had fans who were 69 Cubs were their team. That ball powdered to center. Almora will not have a play. Carpenter with a home run. And Carpenter with his 11th. And it's 2-1 St. Louis.
He's such a good player. Tough out, tough guy to finish off. Last couple of years, he's added a little bit more power. He's such a smart player. Grew up around the game. His dad was a high school coach. A 2-seam fastball, outer third, and he was all over it.
It's a long ways out there to center too.
Right near the 400 sign. So 2-1 Cardinals. Diaz pops it up over near the home dugout. Contreras will not have a play. I was going to say, you know, there's a generation that's the 69 Cubs. There's a generation it's the 84 Cubs. I think there's a generation kind of the 98, 03, and then now this generation.
Yeah, I think you're right. And one of my first news sports assignments in Chicago was that 2003 team. With Sammy Sosa, and I remember when they clinched the division, this place was just went nuts. But that team was different. It was led by Sosa, and the atmosphere in that locker room was just so much different than the one here.
Yeah, I would agree with you.
You have to make those comparisons, you really do, because this team is as good or better. I mean, it will still play out, but I remember in Pittsburgh, I saw you guys there for the playoff last year, and you go in the locker room and Madden's playing Rolling Stones.
That one pulled foul.
There's a laid-back atmosphere, and in those days when Sammy was in the clubhouse, it was his music, and you stayed back and you respected him. And Joe's changed that. He has these guys loose and young and confident, and it's just, we talk about it in the media how they're a different team, but you can't argue that they are. You can see it.
1-2 is outside on Diaz. Yeah, it's a likable group.
How about this night? Beautiful.
70 degrees at game time. It was 90 when we started last night, although the wind shifted. Wow. And are we going to avoid the rain tomorrow is the question.
I think you will. Jerry Taft was saying today the first round of storms in the morning, and then some a chance for some severe stuff tomorrow night. But 1:20 start tomorrow, is that right?
Yep.
Okay.
Right here on ABC 7.
So what you're saying is we have a window of opportunity.
I hope so, but I'm not a meteorologist, JD. I'm just a reporter.
You just work with one.
Yeah, right. I tend to be one.
I like your reference earlier to Days of Our Lives, and then the Cubs. In a lot of ways, I think that's baseball. That's the appeal of baseball, because it is like a soap opera that plays out every day over the course of the season, and every day's a little mini drama.
3-2.
You see old Jake Arrieta in the ESPN body issue?
Yes.
JD showed me. And I guess Dion Miller will have more on that coming up. If you want to see more of Jake, check it out.
Yeah, you'll see more. I always thought they should do a media issue, media body issue. Which one of you two?
That's a terrible idea.
That's ugly to even contemplate.
Jake is ripped.
Yeah, so he's in his pitching windup.
Oh, you haven't seen it?
Yeah. No, I saw it.
It's wind up, and it looks like it's in the desert or something. And he's the only thing he has is a baseball, maybe a glove. I don't remember.
Matt Holliday grounded out in the first. And that one
Nice
way
pick
outside.
by Contreras. A bad miss by Hamill, but no advances. Contreras able to pick it on the backhand and then poised to make a play.
That's not easy, JD.
He's
Huh?
like, go, I dare you to go.
Wow. It's the first time I've seen him play.
One and one. Hamill needed just 8 pitches to get through a 1-2-3 first. Double, single, walk, and a run in the second. Then the Carpenter leadoff homer here in the third. Diaz with a single. Cubs looking for a ground ball at an infielder.
Holliday certainly capable of providing one of those. Puts it on the ground a lot. Not this time.
Nope, that one will get on out. A 2-run homer for Holliday. That was a bullet. And it's 4-1.
Yeah, that one traveled about 390 feet before it hit the ground. Home run number 13 for Holliday. And Jason Hamill off his game here tonight. That's pretty loud here. He leaned on that one.
I'm just going to take the headset off and go. Man. You knew right away, Len.
Yeah, there wasn't much doubt about that one. He is a strong man. That is career homer number 288 for Matt Holliday. So 2 homers here in the third inning for the St. Louis Cardinals. The 1-0 to Piscotty. Bounces up there. Holliday has played a lot in this ballpark. This is his 57th career game. It's his 8th home run here at Wrigley. He's hit under 250 here.
Maybe Hayward will have a better game against his former team. He doesn't bat very well against him, does he?
He had a good series in St. Louis, I remember the last time we were there. Defensively in particular. Low and outside. We might see some early action in the bullpen. And we mentioned the Cubs have made some moves out there here. Clayton Richard to the DL, Adam Warren to AAA. Spencer Patton, a righty, and Gerardo Concepcion, a lefty, added. So Hamill had allowed 1 home run total in his first 5 home starts. 3-2. Popped into short center. Almora racing in. And he's got it. Diving grab by Almora. And Jason Hamill likes it as he applauds.
Any scouting report you read on Albert Almora Jr. from the minute he signed his first professional contract will tell you that he's a chance to be a Gold Glove outfielder, and we've seen a number of sparkling plays from him already, both with his arm and with his ability to run down fly balls.
Well, that's the first out. Here's Peralta. So you're working tonight. Are you reporting? You in the studio?
I'll go out after this. After the ball game, we'll have our 10 p.m. news probably a little bit later, obviously. And yeah, I'll be out there doing something. I think I'll probably do a weather preview on the preparations because the state has warned people about the dangerous severe weather tomorrow. NIPSCO and ComEd, a few agencies talking about power outages likely tomorrow.
Okay, so not just showers, we're talking thunderstorms.
Yeah,
severe.
we're going to see some hail, we're going to see some gusty winds, and we'll see some power outages, and hopefully not tornadoes.
One and one.
Ooh. Speaking of weather, check out the new gold standard for forecasting Chicago weather. Watch live Doppler 7 Max with maximum power only on ABC 7 Eyewitness News. That thing really is max. You can download it on our app too, ABC 7 Chicago, and use it tomorrow.
2-2 on Peralta. Covering the weather here in Chicago is always eventful and a challenge. Called strike 3, 2 outs.
There we go. Tomorrow's the 1-year anniversary of the Coal City tornado, too. We were talking in the newsroom about that, and that was last June 22nd. A series of twisters roared through central Illinois, and a bit ironic that we're expecting severe weather again 1 year later. And hopefully that nothing like that happens.
Right. It was Yadier Molina. Slider got away from Hamill. He's had a couple misses like that tonight. It's not very hot. Maybe losing the grip a little bit for whatever reason.
Yeah, I think
30 pitches here in this inning.
Yeah, I think it's more just coming out of his delivery, some a little out of sync.
Easy play. Hayward in right, and he's got it. Rob Elgas, ABC 7's 4 p.m. news anchor, and does a lot more. Thanks for stopping by tonight.
Always a pleasure, fellas. Thank you.
4-1.
Here at Wrigley Field, Cubs trailing the Cardinals 4-1. Rob Elgas just mentioned Jake Arrieta appearing in the ESPN body issue sans uniform. Had some interesting things to tell his teammates about the photo shoot. I asked David Ross if they asked Arrieta only after Ross declined the offer. He, of course, confirmed that report, then laughed it off, saying no, they'd have to actually pay people to take a body issue with Grandpa Rossi in it. David did say, we see more of Jake in this clubhouse than anybody else, so no surprise he got the invite. Guys, I am surprised that you both haven't been asked to do the same.
Well, Dion, that was a fine report, but I'm going to drop a TMI on you, as the kids say. Swing and a miss. It's 0-2. How much would it take, JD? All the money in
more
the
than more than God's green earth.
2 strikes on Chris Coghlan.
That would be fun, though, if they came out with the bad body issue.
Cubs being out hit 5-1, being outscored 4-1. But it's still early, only in the 3rd. 2-2. Chris Coghlan celebrated his first Father's Day. Nice piece on ESPN.com by buddy Jesse Rogers over the weekend. Chris and his wife Corey adopted a 6-month-old boy over the winter, Timothy Judge. And he's going to go by Judge. And I guess he's eating a lot, and he might be really tall, from what Chris told us. So congrats to the Coghlans and their new addition.
And Judge is Corey's maiden name, or there's some connection to her family.
Correct. Ball 4. Leadoff man has now been on all 3 innings, including Coghlan twice.
Just the fact that Wainwright has issued 3 walks here in the early going should give Cub fans a little reason to be optimistic that they can mount a comeback against him. Normally he's a little sharper than that. There's Paula.
Paula Ostroba. They find stage managers. Buddy Bridget Gonzalez hanging out watching the game tonight. Hayward takes a pitch off the inside corner for ball 1. Birthday wishes, Tim and his son Kevin Wicklund celebrating birthdays and watching tonight here in Chicago. Hayward drives one to center. Wong is back on it. He can't get it. Coghlan to third. Coghlan to the plate. And the relay throw way late. It's 4-2 on an RBI double from Hayward.
The top of the order getting it done tonight. 4 trips to the plate, 4 reaches, single walk Coghlan, walk RBI double for Hayward. And Wong saw him have a little difficulty with Almora's ball. Kind of like this one here last night. That's the tough read for any center fielder. That ball line pretty much directly over his head. He had a little bit of an angle. And even with a perfect route, I'm not sure he's able to run that one down. Really well struck by the big fella. He stands there with nobody out, and Bryant, Rizzo, and Zobrist due up. You feel pretty good about your chances of getting one more in this inning.
Bryant came in with an extra base hit in 4 consecutive games. He flied to center his first time tonight. The 4 runs the Cardinals have tonight, that ends a streak for the Cubs starting pitchers. They had allowed 3 earned runs or fewer in 23 consecutive games. Bryant out into left as Holiday makes the catch. Ball well struck for an out.
The Cubs are the hottest ticket in town. Let's go. Your best option for future games is Monday through Thursday. Very limited availability on weekends throughout the summer. So don't wait. Plan now. Visit Cubs.com.
That stretch I referenced, 23 straight starters allowing 3 or fewer earned runs. Second longest stretch for Cubs rotation since 1920. Back in 92, they went 31 in a row without allowing more than 3 earned runs.
This club putting a lot of dents in the record book.
Molina and Rizzo, likely all-star teammates for the 3rd consecutive year.
Can you put a dent in the record book? Probably not.
You can. Figuratively is probably easier than. So if
they're doing a lot of wonderful things that are going to show up in the record books.
I think literally making a dent would really not serve much of a purpose. Unless you're trying to set a new record for dents in the rule book. Three and 0.
Yeah, we'll see how aggressive Wainwright is here with this 3-0 offering. He's got a base open. He may choose to just tiptoe around Rizzo now and take his chances with Zobrist. He'll have the double play in order.
Hey, Arizmendi Alcantara called up to the big leagues by the Oakland A's. Cubs traded him for Chris Coghlan. So we wish Mendy the best.
Yeah, absolutely. Good kid. Good guy. We enjoyed him when he was here with the big club. Thanks so much for pitching around. Channeled that two-seamer for strike 1. That little backdoor cutter for strike 2.
So 3-0 to 3-2. Zobrist on deck. Rizzo chokes up on the bat. And he bounces to first. Moss will flip to Wainwright covering. Hayward at third, 2 outs.
Turns out the best pitch Anthony had was the 3-0 fastball that he took. Good work by Wainwright after falling behind to come back and get Riz. Falls to Zobrist to cash in Hayward here.
We got the All-Star break for some minor leagues and All-Star games tonight. Southern League All-Star game, Double-A. 8 Tennessee Smokies were named All-Stars. Strike called. Pitchers Paul Blackburn, Brad Markey, Juan Paniagua, Tyler Sculina, Jamer Candelario, who's actually up now in the Triple-A ranks. Victor Caratini, a catcher. Chesney Young, an infielder. Mark Zagunis, an outfielder. I think he got promoted too, right? The Myrtle Beach Pelicans. We've got the California Carolina League All-Star game. Ian Happ, Zach Hedges, Jake Stinnett, Trevor Clifton named to the team. And the Midwest League All-Star game tonight. South Bend won its first half title, so they will be a playoff team. And Zobrist went, and that will end the inning. Cubs get 1 on the RBI double by Hayward. It's 4-2 St. Louis after 3. Is brought to you by Four Winds Casino. Escape the everyday.
And now our State Farm historic moment. Hey, there's Kyle Schwarber. There goes the baseball. Top of the video board, and look at the reaction in the dugout. And game over. Time to party.
Series over. First time the Cardinals and Cubs had ever met in the postseason. Kyle will not be back this year after knee surgery, but hopefully will be at 100% getting ready for 2017. They want to mention the All-Stars for South Bend Midwest League. Give them their props as Moss just got hit for the second time in the series. Right-hander Adbert Alzolay, Donnie Dewey's outfielder, infielder Andrew Eli, Jesse Hodges, Eloy Jimenez put together a great first half, an outfielder, and lefty Carson Sands, all Midwest League All-Stars. Congrats. Here comes Chris Bosio, Cubs pitching coach.
Third consecutive inning, the leadoff man has reached. Scotty double in the second, Carpenter home run in the third, and now this breaking ball catches Moss on the toe. Wednesday, July 20th, sit ringside with Cubs manager Joe Madden and Cub players for the second annual Respect 90 main event. It will take place at the Wintrust Bank building in Chicago, which will feature several local youth boxers at various skill levels, as well as a special main event bout. A portion of the proceeds will benefit youth boxing programs in Chicago's underserved communities. To buy a ticket or a table, visit Cubs.com/Madden.
One, possibly two, and they do it. 4-6-3, a double play. Chris Bosio came out and said, get a double play ball.
The Wizard of Boz, a little magic. Just like that, 2 outs, and now Wainwright up. Jason Hamill looking for a quick fourth.
Giants behind Johnny Cueto are blasting the Pirates in the 6th inning, 9-0 tonight. Cueto has been lights out. Hasn't lost since April 21st.
Alfredo Boscan made the start for Pittsburgh. Boscan. Yeah, Cueto's got an ERA right at 2.
10-1 all-star, a 2.10 and 7-0 over the last 2 months. Two and one on Wainwright. Lined is short in his first at bat. Hard hit ground ball right to Chris Bryant. So a 7-pitch inning, exactly what he needed. Trying to keep his team in the ballgame tonight. 4-2, St. Louis. games going on right now. We mentioned the Giants clobbering the Pirates. World Series rematch. Mets lead the Royals in the 6th, and that Cincinnati ball club has a 3-2 lead in Texas. The Rangers have won 7 in a row. But they've got a 9.5 game lead in their division.
Yeah. Heck of a run by the Rangers. Colby Lewis pitching for them tonight. He flirted with a perfect game last time out. The lead has now grown to 5-2 Cincinnati. Jay Bruce has hit a home run, his 16th. Man, he's having a big year. So teams are going to be knocking on the Reds' door, inquiring about Jay Bruce as the trade deadline nears.
You know what Colby said? Perfect game. A perfect game. How you doing? Swing and a miss.
I thought you were going with the cheese angle there.
No. You said flirted.
Flirting,
so.
Yeah.
Two strikes. And the Cubs catcher. Now 1-2.
Wainwright really good at manipulating his breaking pitch. He's got the curveball and the cutter, and then he'll throw a hybrid, a combination of the two. He'll just make it a little bigger. Sometimes he'll try to get on top, create a little more tilt with the cutter. Very savvy.
And a base hit the other way. Contreras hustling down the line.
Second time he's been aboard tonight.
Bring up Addison Russell. Chris Sale trying to become the first 12-game winner. He's got a 3-1 lead at Fenway late. Rangers, by the way, are 24-9 since they brawled with the Toronto Blue Jays. That one gets under the glove of Diaz. Contreras will keep on going. Could have been 2, could have been at least 1. Instead, nobody retired on the play. First and third, no outs.
That'll be a base hit, but a play that certainly could have been made by Diaz. He's committed 14 errors this year. Cardinals have made the second most errors in the National League, and they don't have a lot of range out there either. So it could have been turns into nothing for the Cardinals, and a great opportunity for the Cubs.
Mora, key batter here, because the pitcher is on deck to get at least 1 in this spot. And fouled back.
Today's save of the game is brought to you by Feltco. Right now, save big with an instant $1,000 Feltco savings card. How about Albert Almora laying out? Applause from many, including his pitcher. Now looking to do a little damage with the stick.
Ground ball towards second. Carpenter will step on the base. They do get the run, but no RBI for Almora. It's 4-3. Base is now empty, 2 outs.
Wainwright able to limit the damage in the third. Getting Bryant, Rizzo, and Zobrist in order with after Hayward had doubled. A cleanup ground ball double play. The positioning, obviously, the key there. Positioning and Wainwright recognizing where his infielders were, not trying to make a play on that ball.
1-2 on Hamill. A 1-run ball game. Cubs inching their way back into it. Swing and a miss on the curve to end the inning. It's 4-3 Cardinals at the end of 4. Brought to you by Fifth Third Bank, the Curious Bank.
Let's take a look around Wrigley Field for the State Farm neighborhood fans of the game. There they are. They're the fans of the game. They win. I saw Wash U, I saw KU, and I couldn't make out that third school on that sign.
Carpenter homered in his last at bat. One strike on the former college teammate of Jake Arrieta. He's scheduled to pitch tomorrow against Michael Wacha.
I feel fairly confident in saying that if the Cardinals do not score any more runs, the Cubs are going to win this ball game.
So you're saying 4 runs will not be enough?
Correct.
The 0-2 misses 1-2. Tomorrow's starting pitchers are brought to you by Subaru. It's been a tough go for Wacha. Not so for Arrieta.
Cardinal rotation as a group really struggled early on. They've been much better of late.
Coughlin into left center makes the grab.
They lost John Lackey and Lance Lynn had Tommy John surgery. He's out for the year. Wainwright chronicled his struggles earlier in the ball game. Mike Leake got off to a little bit of a slow start. He's been better lately. Jaime Garcia really good here last night.
Strike call. You're going to have clunkers as a starting pitcher. Happens to the best of them. The idea is to limit the damage. When you have a bad start, you try to find a way to get through 5 or 6, keep your team in it.
Well, especially when you got a lineup like the Cubs, you have a chance to do that. A lot of teams, you give up 3 or 4, and most nights you're toast. or at least many nights you're toast. But with this group, yeah, you get knocked around a little bit early, and you kind of have to come to the rescue yourself, be a bridge guy to get the ball to the 6th or 7th inning if possible.
I mean, this is Hamels' 14th start. It's only the second time he's allowed more than 3 runs. It's only the 4th time he's allowed more than 2 runs. Bounce to third. That's Bryant. And 2 gone.
So here's the interesting paradox about baseball. You see those trends and those numbers, and you would say, wow, it's really surprising that this is happening. The other argument would be, well, some of these games were bound to happen because the starters have been so good. There was likely to be some regression, especially as the weather heats up here and the ball starts to jump a little bit more. It's going to be tougher to maintain. All the, a 5-man rotation, all with sub-3 ERAs is off the charts good. If they do it for the whole year, it will be historic.
Holiday bounces. That one cut off by Bryant. He spins, throws, and gets his man. We go to the bottom of the 5th. It's 4-3 Cardinals. Everybody between 174 and 294, and at home 2.
Yeah, so you got 5 guys in the top 14 in the league in earned run average. The league average ERA for starting pitcher is 4.09.
Chris Coghlan pops up on the first pitch. And Molina makes a catch. First time Coghlan has been retired tonight.
So Kyle Hendricks with that 294 earned run average, the 5th best ERA among the Cubs starters. It's still a full run and change better than league average.
You go back to 1913, I believe. The Cubs are almost a run better in the ERA department, the starting rotations, and the rest of baseball. If they maintain this pace, it'll be a major league record. I mean, it is astounding to be a half a run better over the course of a full season. Ground ball to first. Moss unassisted. 2 quick outs.
Wainwright for his career. 126 wins. He's lost 71 times. Has a career earned run average of 3.07. Good resume.
Here's a 2-0 from Wainwright. Bryant with an aggressive swing and fouls off into the upper deck.
Baseball's two biggest summer events back to back. The Home Run Derby on ESPN July 11th at 7 Central. And the very next night, don't miss baseball's biggest stars at the 87th All-Star Game presented by MasterCard. That's July 12th. Coverage begins at 6:30.
2-2.
Home plate umpire there asking for help on the swing from Quinn Walcott. Years ago, umpires would have a little signal. Base umpire would have a little scratch his nose or do something to say, yeah, it was a swing or it wasn't, before it was kosher to ask for help.
Peralta gets Bryant, and the Cubs go in order for the first time tonight, trailing by a run after 5. Our Dunkin' Donuts Fun Cam video for Brett Eldridge. from Paris, Illinois. That is the third single of his second album, which is called Illinois, and he shot it here at Wrigley Field. Wanna Be That Song is the name of that tune. And he will conduct the stretch a little later during the I think it's the 7th.
Well, we could shake it up a little bit.
1-1 on Piscotty. Here's the pitch. Fouled off of first, out of play. I will make a prediction.
All righty.
I don't make many. This will be the largest crowd of the season here at Wrigley Field. Nobody told me that. I knew there were going to be a lot of people here, but
been running 40 plus pretty much every night here lately, right? 124,000 and change for the weekend set.
41,702 is the clubhouse leader. That was Saturday, April 16th against the Rockies, a 6-2 win. Backhanded play. Bryant off balance throw actually hits the runner Piscotty in the foot or leg, so he's safe.
Gets credit for a base hit. Well behind the bag, never really has time to set his feet, has to hurry that throw. Makes a Cub friendly bounce, so no extra base for Piscotty. If it's kickball, he's out.
As I say, wiffle ball,
Yeah.
kickball,
Yeah.
you're out. We've talked about this before. You played pitcher's hand, right? As a kid?
Yeah, not enough guys to cover all the positions.
Just have to get it back to the pitcher before the runner reached first.
So this weather reminds you, right? As a kid, when you go out in the summertime, you play all day and night. Without coaches or umpires or anything. Not even parents.
The 0-1, Peralta lines to Hayward, who makes a catch right up near that sidewall. One away.
He runs him down, doesn't he? This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Chicago Cubs and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Chicago Cubs. Well, the last time I predicted a double play, Matt Holliday hit the ball up into the bleachers. I won't predict one. I'll just tell you that Molina hits into a lot of them.
Might see a major league debut tonight. Left-hander Gerardo Concepcion is up in the home bullpen along with Trevor Cahill. Stomach's got to be churning out there.
Not exactly a soft landing, is it? Packed house against the Cardinals in a one-run game if he does come in.
Well, you've got lefties to follow here, Moss and Wong after Molina.
Matheny might be thinking about playing a little hit and run. Jason not getting a lot of swings and misses here tonight. There's 2 strikeouts, both looking. Diaz in the first, Peralta in the third. Contreras showing off that arm last night. That's going to shut some teams down. I'm sure all the advanced scouts made note of that.
Miguel Montero will get the start tomorrow behind the plate with Jake Arrieta, the scheduled starting pitcher.
Let's take a look at how Jason Hamill has been painting the corners. Brought to you by Benjamin Moore. Paint like no other. We mentioned his 2 punch outs. Breaking pitch in to get Diaz, and then Peralta looking for something other than the heater. Playing Molina as an outfield hitter in the outfield. Jason Hayward really shaded toward the line and right. See how Moore cheating towards the gap in right center. Molina stands way off the plate and then dives to cover the outside corner. Normally looks middle away and tries to hit the ball the other way. Every now and then, though, he'll double cross you. He'll cheat and try to turn on one if he thinks you're going to try to come in on him.
Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Strikeout since the 3rd inning for Hamill.
So a swing and miss slider. Dangerous left feed Moss coming up, and we're going to see that big league debut.
This call to the pen is brought to you by Lakeside Bank. It's about time. By Xfinity. The way you experience TV. By your Chicago and Northwest Indiana Hyundai dealers. Visit buyhyundai.com. By Lakeside Bank, celebrating 50 years of financial strength. Lakeside Bank, it's about time. By new BP gasoline with Invigorate, our best fuel ever. And by the Bob LaCourcio Auto Group. You're going to like buying a car this way. Major League debut, 6'2", 180. Gerardo Concepcion, 24 years old, born in Havana, Cuba, now lives in Miami. Cubs signed him in March of 2012 to a 5-year Major League contract, and it has been a long road to get here. Some ugly numbers early in his career with a lack of command. He has found that command, and splitting the beginning of the year between AA and AAA has been very good against lefties.
He works from the third base side of the rubber. A little bit of a crossfire delivery.
Moss went around. Fastball sits 91, maybe 93 at times. Good curveball.
Nice to have a familiar face squatting behind home plate when you take that mound for the first time.
Swing and a miss. Now, we didn't see him at all in spring training at big league camp. He is in the back of the book, the minor league section. And his 0-2 fouled off. And you know, we have no idea how it's going to go here. But if he pitches well and has success, there is a need for a left-handed specialist. Travis Wood's been great, but he's not really considered a loogie. You usually ask for more than one batter from Travis. Foul.
Yeah, and Clayton Richards' strength is the sinker ball, a ground ball guy who, you know, when he's on his game can kind of come in and get you a big ground ball double play, get you out of a mess. Be the one area of concern I would think for the Cubs bullpen, looking for a dominant left-hander that could shut down dangerous left-handed bats.
Numbers for Hamill. A runner at first to Scotty. He's still on his record. Concepcion trying to strand him. Swing and a miss. So his major league debut is a good one as he strikes out Brandon Moss. Nicely done, young man.
Fix that Wrigley Field. We just saw Gerardo Concepcion make his major league debut. Joe Madden excited to get that left-handed reliever in here, not just because there's a need, but because he's proven effective facing both lefties and righty. So they were excited about that. It does help that he had a familiar face behind the plate in Wilson Contreras. Albert Almora Jr. is here, also from Iowa, as well as Carl Edwards Jr., recalled recently. He's in the pen with him. We talked to Carl today, who mentioned just how much it helps to see so many of those Iowa teammates here at Wrigley with them. Helps with this transition. And guys, I think a strikeout in your first major league appearance, isn't that equivalent to a home run on the first pitch you see?
That's a great question, Dion, from my partner, Jim DeShays. Pretty good result.
It is a very good result, yeah.
And I would imagine the only guy he'll face, I guess, Joe could send him back out with Wong.
Yeah, he might get Wong, yeah.
Two-0 on Anthony Rizzo. This is a one-swing ball game. Strike on a curve.
Yeah, I would have to say the strikeout of your first batter doesn't quite measure up to the first at-bat home run, but still. And pitchers, you know, we're generally not into ourselves. We're more team-oriented guys.
Right. Ground ball and through into right center. They had three guys between first and second, and nobody could get it.
All right, good start here in the bottom of the sixth. Got the zone defense, everybody over there on the right side, but Rizzo still manages to find a seam.
The other thing about it is you work so hard to get to this level. Then you get into the game, you strike out a tough hitter, and you're feeling good, and then the manager says, hey, go get the next guy. Carpenter will get the lead man, and that's it. So Rizzo is out. Fielder's choice for Zobrist. And then if you get the next guy, the next day you may be asked to get the next guy. It just never ends. What have you done for me lately?
Clark's Crew, presented by Jewel Osco and Tropicana, is the official kids club of the Chicago Cubs. Team up with Clark as a member of Clark's Crew and receive kid-specific perks, experiences, and merchandise. Visit Cubs.com/kids to sign up your young Cubs so they can be part of the fun all season long.
Contreras has walked, singled, and scored.
Talked about Joe bringing Concepcion into that situation, not being a soft landing for a guy making his major league debut, given the game situation. But a lot of managers prefer to do that. Throw a kid into the fire right away. Sometimes the longer it is before you get in, the more you can think about it. And then when you do get your chance, the moment can really get the best of you. Don't think, just go do.
Should be two. Contreras busting it, and he can't beat the relay. It's a 6-4-3, and the Cubs are finished in the sixth. Still 4-3 St. Louis. element is brought to you by Sport Clips Haircuts. It's good to be a guy. With over 85 Chicagoland locations, find yours at sportclips.com. Eduardo Concepcion in his major league debut struck out Brandon Moss with the man on to end the 6th, and he'll face Colton Wong to start the 7th. Outside ball 1. Trevor Cahill will be the next Cub pitcher. And Adam Wainwright on deck. Cardinals playing a lot of one-run games here lately. They got swept at home over the weekend against Texas, and they were all one-run decisions. They won 3-2 last night. Big win for the Indians tonight, who were a game ahead of Kansas City going into play. 6-0 they beat the Rays. Corey Kluber with a 3-hit shutout, struck out 9. Did you see on the Kiss Cam last night in Cleveland? They showed LeBron with the trophy.
I did not see that.
Pretty cool. Fouled off. 3-2.
Did LeBron kiss the trophy?
I think it was a picture of him kissing the trophy. Yeah. Detroit beat the Mariners 4-2 at Comerica. Verlander got a no decision, 7 innings, 2 runs. Line and caught by Russell.
He's putting on a clinic defensively in this series. Made a couple of sparkling plays in the ball game last night. Great quick first step here.
Joe's going to stick with the rookie here against Wainwright, and you've got another lefty, Carpenter, on deck.
So you mean LeBron James didn't decide to celebrate the NBA championship by taking the trophy to Progressive Field or whatever it's called these days?
So.
What kind of a baseball fan is he? That's it. Hockey's done. Hoops is done. It's all about baseball now.
Foul tip. Well, I missed the mark. Not by much, though. I thought tonight might be the largest crowd to date. Very close. 41,616. Called strike 3. Let's take a look at the forward upcoming schedule for the Cubs. Off to the road after tomorrow. We'll have the series and homestand finale right here on ABC 7 starting at 1 o'clock. First pitch at 1:20. Then off to Miami for 4, 3 at Cincinnati, and 4 in New York. Carpenter with 2 outs. Just missed.
Marlins tied 2-2 with the Braves, bottom of the 9th in Miami. Suddenly hot Braves have won 5 in a row.
Did you see last night they set a major league record?
The Braves did?
The Marlins and the Rockies.
Solo home run record?
It was not the record for solo homers. It was the record for every run in a game on solo homers. 8. The previous record was 5. So all runs coming on solos. I guess a little easier to hit a homer there, right? They moved the fences in a few spots. We'll get the scoop Thursday night. Carpenter drives one to center. It's going to hold up for Almora. Brett Eldridge with our Mercedes-Benz 7th inning stretch.
Tonight's guest conductor for Take Me Out to the Ball Game, country music artist Brett Eldridge.
All right, Cubs fans, let me hear ya. On a 2, a 3. Take me out to the ball game. Take me out to the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jacks. I don't care if I ever get back, for it's room for the Cubbies. If they don't win, it's a shame, for it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game. Let's get some runs.
Nice work by Brett Eldridge, huge Cub fan. Nailed the stretch. As Addison Russell will lead it off. Cubs trying to get to Wainwright. They were down 4-1. Scored in the 3rd and the 4th, but he has held them down since. Jonathan Broxton in the Cardinal pen. Pedro Strop up for the Cubs.
Wainwright, a smart veteran pitcher, and kind of reminiscent of what we've seen a lot from John Lackey this year. Just doesn't panic early on. He wasn't on top of his game, but doesn't just try to overpower hitters when he gets into a bit of a jam. Continues to try to make pitches on the corners, keeps the ball down around the knees. Got a couple big double play balls here tonight.
I'd be surprised if any pitcher this season has thrown more curveballs in a start against the Cubs.
Every now and then he'll throw a 4-seam fastball, but usually it's sinkers or cutters. You see that reflected in the 65% fastball, and then the curveball 32% of the time.
Drilled deep left. Holiday will have to play it off the wall. Russell to second. He'll slide in safely with a double, and the tying run is at second with nobody out.
Second hit of the night for Russell to go along with some stout defensive play. That ball blistered by young Addison Russell. That got Mike Matheny's attention. Well, you get down to this stage of the ball game, you got to cash in this opportunity. Leadoff double. Let's take a look at the exit velocity on that one. Brought to you by Toyota. 105 miles per hour. Cardinals cornerman pinch. Anticipating bunt here from Almora.
Not showing bunt, takes a fastball inside. Another tight ball game between the Cardinals and Cubs here at Wrigley Field. Cardinals haven't scored since the third. The Cubs have not put up a run since the fourth. But they are threatening. Missed again.
And similar to last night when all the scoring was done in the first 3 innings of the ball game. It was Miguel Montero, possible pinch hit appearance.
Wind not a factor at all at the moment. There is no wind. Mora got his hands out in front, kept the barrel back. The dugout is livid as on appeal Quinn Walcott said he swung at it.
I think Walcott may be influenced by as much how much body action there was there by Almora. We'll take a look at it. Clearly Joe didn't like it. So not going to give in. 2-0 curveball. One of the biggest differences for these young hitters coming to the big leagues. Pretty good chance that's a situation where he's going to see a fastball down in the minor leagues. It's less likely so here.
Joe still has words for Mark Carlson. Three and one.
So Almora has to process all that. Okay, threw me the hook on 2-0. Have to respect that.
Back with one of his better fastballs at 93. Foul strike to make it 3-2.
Yeah, that was just a four-seam challenge fastball. Wasn't trying to really create a lot of movement. He figures the 2-0 curveball bought him a little something there where he could challenge with that heater. A guy that, as he worked his way up through the Cubs system, didn't strike out much. He didn't walk a lot either. These guys that has the ability to go out and get the ball off the plate, handle pitches all over and out of the strike zone.
We'll keep Russell at second as Holiday makes the catch.
Sometimes that very skill set can work against you. We saw it with Starlin Castro, his ability to go out and, put the ball in play, obviously provide some value, but if you learn to be a little bit more patient, work more walks, you're going to get not just pitches you can reach and put in play, but pitches you can drive and do damage with.
Montero off the bench for the pitcher Concepcion, who faced 4, retired all of them.
7 out of 21 for Montero against Wainwright in his career. One of those 7 a home run. Cubs will settle for a broken bat flare somewhere. Broxton has been up, appears ready to go in the Cardinal bullpen. Matheny trusting his ace here to work out of this jam.
Curve strike, 2-1.
Hard to convince yourself as a hitter to sit on a curveball on 2 balls, no strikes, but it would have been a prudent strategy tonight against Wainwright.
Broken bat roller to first. Runner will advance to third, 2 outs. So Moss takes care of Montero, and it'll bring up Chris Coghlan.
Check out the Hooters hot play of the game, brought to you by your Chicagoland Hooters, the original wing joint. It's the sac fly off the bat of Anthony Rizzo. Here comes Chris Coghlan.
Watch him. See it?
Bubble power.
Yeah. Ability to chew gum and walk at the same time. He did more than that. He ran and popped a bubble. So Mike Matheny has made the call. And this call to the pen is brought to you by Lakeside Bank. It's about time. Is being brought to you by Southwest. Transparency, low fares, nothing to hide. By Ford, inviting you to visit your local Ford store or localfordstores.com. By Insure on the Spot. Get your free 2-minute quote today at insureonthespot.com. By Volkswagen. And by Jimmy John's. Order Jimmy John's sandwich delivery today. Jimmy John's Freaky Fresh, Freaky Fast. Right-hander Jonathan Broxton will make his 30th appearance.
Broxton on a pretty good roll here. Scoreless baseball the last 9 times he has trotted out there from the Cardinal bullpen. 94 to 95 miles an hour slider that he relies heavily on. A changeup every now and then.
Runner at third, 2 outs, 7th inning. Cubs down a run. Chris Coughlin takes ball 1. Broxton's a big dude. 6'4", 285. Recently turned 32 years old. Former closer. Hasn't really closed on a regular basis in quite some time. And when he came up throwing in the mid to upper 90s, 8, 9, 10 years ago, it was like, wow,
yeah,
look at this guy.
He's an attention getter now. He's just one of many.
Yeah. So was 95.
Yeah, he's one of, we refer to him now. Boy, he used to really light up the radar gun. Now he's only 95, 96.
3-0. Hayward waits on deck. In 2009 with the Dodgers, he averaged 97.8 according to Fangraphs on his fastball. Ball 4. Now it's about 94. And that power slider. Here's Hayward against his former team. A walk, an RBI double, and a ground out tonight.
Against Broxton with that elevated fastball, Jason Hayward will be telling himself, get the ball down. We can put a better swing on it. Tough to handle 96 up for most guys, and that's a trouble spot for Jason. I think it is for a lot of big, tall, left-handed hitters.
It's a tying run, and there's your go-ahead run. Nothing in 2.
Could well just get a piece of that one. 97. Well up above the belt. Pretty much all fastballs here from Broxton. Any slider in the strike zone would be a big mistake. I would think to try to bury a slider down and in, or just keep pounding that high fastball would be their game plan.
First and third, 2 outs in a 1-run ball game. Broxton's 1-2 offering. Ground ball, diving stop, Moss, and that'll end the inning. So the Cubs strand 2, waste the leadoff double. It's 4-3 after 7. Goes from third to left. Javier Baez comes in to play third, so Chris Coughlin is out as part of a double switch. And this pitching change is brought to you by Lakeside Bank. Lakeside Bank, it's about time. Pedro Strop.
Mr. Strop for the 32nd time. Got 2, 3, 4 to contend with here. It's Diaz, Holiday, Piscotty, all right-handed hitters.
So an opportunity missed. Cubs with a leadoff double in the 7th and could not get Russell to the plate.
Yeah, it's been
played by Moss to end the inning. 1-1 to Diaz.
Broxton got a little away with a bit of a mistake there. That slider in the zone to Hayward. He hit the ball sharply, but Moss able to make a play on it. He's had 2 or 3 really good opportunities that they have not cashed in here tonight.
Two and 2. Couldn't get what seems to be an automatic swing on that quick pitch. It's full with Holiday on deck. And he clipped him, so that will officially be a hit batter on what would have been ball 4 anyway.
That just flew open a little bit. 2-seam fastball, a little extra run.
Swing and a miss by Holiday. A Mercedes-Benz drive of the game happened in the 3rd. Holiday with a 2-run homer. And there was very little doubt when it left the bat. That made it 4-1 at the time.
And 2 batters after Matt Carpenter had hit a solo home run to lead off the inning. Diaz singled. Holiday hit that blast. Cardinals have not scored since.
He struck him out. First out in the inning. Now Piscotty.
Sharp breaking slider by Strop there. You see it on our Xfinity pitch tracks. Starting in the zone, dipping down below the knees.
Look out. As Piscotty is backed off the plate, 1-0. So Segrist getting ready for the bottom of the 8th. Cubs will have Bryant, Rizzo, and Zobrist-Dube. Broxton only faced 2, so he might be out there to face Chris Bryant. Fly ball to left, pretty well hit, but playable. On the warning track, it's Bryant, and he has it.
MLB.TV Premium, the #1 live streaming sports service, delivers everything you have come to expect and more. Watch every out-of-market game live in HD on over 400 supported devices. Includes a free subscription to At Bat Premium, the #1 app for live baseball. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.tv for details.
Chris Bosio makes a visit. Some other finals: Mets 2, Royals 1 in New York. Braves beat the Marlins in Miami in 10, 3-2 the final. Everything else is still to be determined. Hey, Cub fans, if you miss any of tonight's action, ABC 7 will rebroadcast each one of its Cubs matchups on the Live Well Network. Tonight's Cubs Cardinals Encore will air in its entirety beginning at 11 p.m. on ABC 7's digital channel 7.2 and the following cable channel positions. Peralta takes a strike. It is 1-1 on Johnny. Swing and a miss on the slider. 1-2. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Peralta disgustingly discards his bat. Chris Bryant will lead things off when we come back in the bottom of the 8th. The Cubs are down 1, 4-3. In the 7th will replace Matt Holliday in left, but tonight it's in the 8th. And this pitching change is brought to you by Lakeside Bank. Lakeside Bank, it's about time. Left-hander Kevin Segrist.
Big lanky lefty with good stuff. And posted the solid numbers, a 184 batting average against, 28 innings, just 18 hits, 5 home runs, though. That gets your attention. Walked 9, struck out 32. He's really tough on lefties, but good against righties, too, because he has a very good changeup.
Bryant leads it off. Here we go. Fouled away. Yeah, he gave up 3 homers against the Cubs in 3 appearances in the division series last year.
Good breaking ball there, just missed. Didn't use that one much. Something else for the hitters to consider.
The dirt on the breaker. It's 2-1. Just to tell you how weird baseball is, I mentioned the Braves beat the Marlins in Miami tonight. They went into that game. The Braves did 13.5 behind Miami in the standings. They're 6-1 versus the Marlins this year. Go figure. Ground ball to third. Scooped by Peralta. 1 out.
Well, I was looking at the Cubs game by game. We talked at the outset here tonight about the Cubs having lost back-to-back games only twice this year. They lost 3 in a row. Back in May, remember out in San Francisco, they dropped 2 in a row, and then game 1 of the series in St. Louis. That was May 21st, 2nd, and 23rd. And the other time they lost back-to-back games, a doubleheader sweep by the Padres here. Padres have won 11 road games all year. They come in here and sweep a doubleheader against a team that was 25-6 at the time. So it just kind of explains baseball.
Explains the unexplainable, or leaves it unexplained.
Yeah.
Maybe a better way to put it. So Rizzo 1 for 2, sac fly in the first. And then he waits on a 1-0.
Yeah, the line, how can you lose to a team ... or how can you beat by a pitcher who has done this, or how do you let a hitter hitting $180 beat you? That doesn't really apply because it happens. A fair amount of regularity in this sport.
I mean, just doing the math, 162 games if we equate it to the NFL. You've got to play 10 baseball games to equal 1 week of NFL football. So if you lose 2 or 3 in a row, that's like losing the first quarter of a football game. Bounced foul. The best teams in the league are going to lose 60 games. It's 2 full months of losing. (3-1). Now 3-2.
Yep. Running out of outs. Nothing wrong with a big swing there. On 3-1, got a challenge fastball just a little bit above his happy zone. Trevor Rosenthal, the closer for the Cardinals, got the save last night, but he was wobbly and he has struggled a good bit this year.
1 out walk. Switch hitting Ben Zobrist will bat right against the southpaw Segrist. Short lead by Rizzo, held by Moss. First pitch is hit on the ground to short. They get 1, they get 2. Inning over. A 6-4-3 double play ball will take us to the ninth. Still 4-3 for the visitors. Is brought to you by the all-new 2016 Mazda CX-9. Mazda, driving matters. Dion Miller.
You know, Len, I think these fans should just stick around. We are in the middle of our first ever ABC 7 night day doubleheader. Series finale coming up tomorrow right here on ABC 7. We'll get started with the pregame at 1 o'clock. Michael Wacha counters a fully clothed Jake Arrieta at 1:20.
We hope so. Thanks, Dion. And this pitching change is brought to you by Lakeside Bank. Lakeside Bank, it's about time. Oh, yes, they call him the streak. And he was streaking for a while there, wasn't he?
Yes, he did have a really good streak going. Travis Wood pitching for the 35th time. It seems like about 60 times. He's out there like every night. Sung O of the Cardinals. Leads league in appearances with 36.
Molina pops it up. One out.
Way back in the about the 4th inning, I said, if the Cardinals don't score again, the Cubs are going to win this game. Well, they haven't scored again. However, the Cubs down to their final 3 outs. Had their chances.
Baez looking for some room, and he's not going to find it. A good 45 seconds for you to make some Wood Moss joke.
Let it slip, yeah.
Well, may get another shot later in the year. Ball 1 to Colton Wong. One and one.
One-on-one on Wong from Wood.
Wacha tomorrow.
Travis Wood throws a lot of fastballs these days. He's done that since he's made the move to the bullpen. Still throws his cutter a fair bit.
Who wants it? Two shortstops there in the area. But Russell, the official shortstop, makes the catch. Last chance, down 1 for the Cubs.
ABC7.
That was 2 nights ago. This pitching change is brought to you by Lakeside Bank. Lakeside Bank, it's about time. Trevor Rosenthal got the save last night, but it was far from easy.
Yeah, he gave up a couple of hits and a hit batter. You see the numbers not particularly good for Rosenthal. An ERA approaching 5. He's given up a lot of base runners. He's allowed runs in 3 of his last 5 appearances.
One strike on Contreras. Here's the pitch. 0-2.
Don't need to be a hero here.
And he got him.
Pretty firm there, 98 miles an hour, elevated.
Yeah, he didn't mess around. 96, 96, 98. So 13 straight successful save chances against the Cubs for Rosenthal. 4 pitches, 4 fastballs, 4 strikes. The 0-1 delivery. This doesn't look like last night so far.
.99 there, but down where Russell had a better chance of putting it in play. Haven't seen it yet, not tonight anyway, but he's got a real good changeup as well.
That's a good start. It comes with 1 out here in the 9th, but the tying run is on base. That's 3 hits for Russell.
Again, ball more mid-thigh where he's got a fighting chance. Short stroke. Outstanding night for Russell. He's been the man of the match for the Cubs here tonight. You see a little more of a sprint down the first baseline on that ball, though, just in case there's a little misplay in the outfield. Put yourself in position to take advantage.
Mora Jr.
Deep in the outfield. Colton Wong was fooled by a couple of balls in this series. Really deep in straightaway center. And Mora hit one over his head last night.
It was an awkward landing. Two and one. Mora without a major league home run so far.
See you working.
And a shot at redemption after getting thrown out in the 9th last night. 2-1, fouled off.
one point you figure he's going to go way back up.
Swing and a miss, strike 3.
After all those fastballs, he comes with the off-speed pitch.
First one of the inning, right?
Yep. It's something of a foshy, funky hybrid splitter.
Javier Baez with his first plate appearance tonight. He ended the Mother's Day marathon with a home run. Russell still at first, 2 outs. And Addison's going to hold right there as the ball popped out of the mid of Molina.
Yeah, that's that one where it's hard to anticipate when the ball's not in the dirt. There's the Mother's Day home run. It's about a Javi Baez. Rope leading him home. If ever there were a time to pull out the driver.
Yeah, and you thought
try to reach the green.
Contreras and Almora swung hard.
Okay.
3-0. Matt Caesar waits on deck.
Yeah, so ball 4 puts the tying run in scoring position, puts the winning run on first base. Having said that, I got no problem with swing here.
Okay. The 3-0.
Because you knew you're going to get, in all likelihood, you're going to get, well, you knew you're going to get a heater. And there was a pretty good chance you're going to get one in the zone.
Not the worst result, a swing and a miss there. The worst result would have been a pop up to short. Still in the driver's seat, 3-1. The pitch, he walked it.
Matheny probably reaching for the antacids.
Well, the way this inning started, it looked as possible as any other thing that Rosenthal would throw 9 pitches. 1-2-3, 1-2-3, 1-2-3, but an 0-2 pitch caught way too much of the plate to Russell. He singled. Morris struck out, and then Baez walked. And the Cubs are an outfield single away from tying this one up.
Feeling quite as bulletproof now. Instead of just trying to reach back and throw it by hitters, he's trying to paint a little bit.
Matt Bowman is up. They made Rosenthal work last night, and they're making him labor again tonight.
Caesar's been really good off the bench. Tough assignment. This is the guy that throws 98 when you're not in the flow of the game.
Ground ball toward the middle. Diaz to the bag, and the Cardinals hang on once again. Cubs strand a couple in the 9th. But the Cardinals have already clinched the series, winning 4-3 tonight, 3-2 last night. And the Cubs will try to avoid the sweep tomorrow afternoon. And again, JD, all the runs were early.
Yeah, very similar to last night's ball game. Missed opportunities here tonight. Hayward on second after the RBI double, nobody out. Bryant, Rizzo, Zobrist up. You figured they'd cash that one in. Wainwright really got tough in that situation. Cardinals turned 3 double plays tonight. Cubs also wasted a leadoff double by Russell in the 7th. So this one will sting a little bit extra as the boys head back into that home clubhouse.
So once again, the final: Cardinals 4, Cubs 3, and we will have more from Wrigley Field in a moment. Chicago Cubs baseball on ABC 7 is being brought to you by Southwest. Transparency, low fares, nothing to hide. By Mercedes-Benz, the best or nothing. By State Farm. Talk to an agent today at 800-STATE-FARM. By your Chicago and Northwest Indiana Hyundai dealers. Visit buyhyundai.com. And by the Bob LaCourcio Auto Group. You're going to like buying a car this way.